The name came up for Pfeiffer to be president. I know me and you have not always agreed. You voted to censor me, that's okay. But,
Point of information, you also voted to censor yourself.
oh yeah,
Point of order. Point of order.
What's your point?
What did Mr. Piper say?
Mr. Pfeiffer, you can repeat it.
yeah, you ain't have to add that in there.
No, I'm calling a serious point of order while y'all laughing. I want to know what was the quick inquiry.
Yes,
The
Mr.
quick inquiry was to remind Mr. Murphy that he voted to censure himself as well.
Go
And so
ahead.
that was your point of information.
Go ahead, Mr. Murphy.
Either way it go, we only got a couple of meetings.
Point of order. Point of order.
Mr. Mays.
Point of
What is
order.
your point of order?
You ain't to be hollering at
What
me.
is your point of
That's
order?
my point. You ain't
Mr.
to be
Mays,
hollering at me
let
and
me tell you
interrupt me
this.
when
You
I'm talking
are
to the
out
city
of
attorney.
order. That's
You
your
out of order.
first
You got
warning,
your
Mr.
first
Mays.
warning from me.
Steve stalking, I will remove you. Chief Hart, I'm glad you're here.
Chief
Mr.
Hart,
Mays just
can I
got
talk to
his
you?
only warning. He is being
May I be
disruptive.
excused?
You can, sir. And that breaks the quorum up, and we are done.
Mr. Brown, did you at any time have any conversation with Mr. Neely as it relates to this process?
No, sir.
None whatsoever.
Oh, excuse me. When you say process, you have to be more specific. That's an unfair
Mr.
question.
Wolf, he must have understood the question and he answered it. So
Well, I'm
we'll
asking
accept
for-
his
I'm-
answer.
well, you
Well,
can
I'm not
accept what you want.
questioning you, I'm
The question
questioning
is
him.
vague. The question
Excuse
is
me.
vague. If you want to have
Do
an
you have an
investigation-
objection? What's your
My
objection?
objection is that your question is vague, and it leads to multiple conclusions. If you want to have specific information, your first rule says that this is a fact-finding only, all right? Ask a question. What does process mean? You have two separate bids.
Mr. Wood,
Your
Mr. Wood,
resolution-
order. Let me get some order. Let me get some order. You might not have liked his answer, but he didn't say he didn't understand. He answered it. And so let us continue with this, even though you don't like his answer. May I, and
Ask a
will you
question.
indulge us in that?
Ask a question.
Miss Worthing is saying in this appeal, I ain't studying what you're trying to do. I've been telling people for 3-4 years, her, Kate Fields, and others have caused unnecessary confusion. We would be on the public speaking by now. It ain't just Mays. Mays reacts to them.
Mr. Whittaker, I appointed the ad hoc committee. I'm interested in the council. An ad hoc committee can't amend the budget. Every time you come before me so far, it seems like you don't really get it. This is the council. I'm not interested in the ad hoc. We're in budget process now. You say in 2 weeks, could we have the information? Do you know? What's the answer to that? Forget the ad hoc committee. Talk to the council as a whole.
I believe, if I'm correct, Madam Chair, that the focus of this is more the general budget and then department heads?
Yeah, this budget is for the general. We are not discussing the ARPA funds. He's asking you how to offset it, so we'll tie into that.
Yeah,
Now, is it possible you can
Madam
answer
Chair.
Councilman May's question regarding I believe, May 5th date, within 2 weeks, that you'll be able to have an answer for him to present to the council?
Yes. Well,
Okay, that's what I want to
Thank
hear.
you.
Madam Chair, Mr. Whittaker, let me explain something to you. If I'm talking to you, wouldn't it be fair and proper to talk to me rather than deviate to the chair? You could have told me yes. But I'm sensing each time I come to you, you're elusive and somewhat disrespectful to me. That's just me. I could be wrong. So now let's move forward. Some people look at politics just during an election period, not me. I'm political all year round. I always say it's more than 5 ways to skin a cat. And you'll see that happening. As people come at me, I go back at them double. We're going to get this stuff right for the residents of the city of Flint. Ms. Burns, you chaired a fine meeting earlier when that nonsense was happening, talking about being germane and stick to the subject, because this fella hopped all over everywhere, and y'all did too, about a piece of equipment. So keep up the good work. You got these folks sitting over here to my left. They tell chairpersons, penalize him, throw him out, warn him, penalize him, and then come back and do the same thing.
You know, so I mean, all of this has been exposed. Eric Mays, you said God is in the plan. You're right. That's why you all voted no. You didn't intend for the chair to lose, but God allowed you to show your ignorance by voting no. And I'm wrapping up. Councilwoman Jerry Winfrey Carter, you've been on this council all this time, and you don't have the wherewithal to know what the yes vote means and what the no vote means. You saying the opposite of what it means, what you thought it meant. I mean, that's pathetic. And I just got to say this part right here. Monica Gottaway, you have been exposed. Eric Mays, you have been exposed. And it's got to be...
Point of information.
No. We have a point of order and then a point of information. Councilwoman Gottaway. Chair, she is attacking. I listen to her on a weekly basis. She adds no value. And I am over it. She is over her time. I'm asking that you would move on to the next speaker.
Well, I say this, you have no value. I listen to you, you have no value. Thank you. Thank you. I'm through, Council.
Thank you.
Is there a certain level of stress that comes with this? Yes, it is. There is quite a bit of stress that comes from having to do the job all day and then come in here and spend 6-7 hours in the evening.
Point of information.
What's your point of information?
Through you to the speaker, do you know it comes a lot of stress answering my telephone with residents 7 days a week, starting from 6 and 7 in the morning to 10 at night, and then come here and deal with Whittaker and folk like that as well?
You.
Do you know that is stress on both sides?
Thank you, Councilman Mays. You have the floor, Mr. Edwards.
Information. I want this public to just notice how these votes fall along racial lines in a lot of cases. Thank you.
Which point, Councilwoman?
I don't even want to start anywhere in this meeting with any type of racial references.
Point well taken. We're going to continue.
Point of information.
Councilman Mays.
It ain't a start. It's been a pattern of the vote. Wouldn't that be a fair statement repeatedly?
That don't need response. Thank you so much. We down to public speaking.
Treat others like you want to be treated. Sometimes you can't even hear what you're saying. When you say point of order, stop. I want to see if your colleagues going to remove you when you don't. That's the rules that you like to cite, and you steady be running your mouth. I ain't buying it. May I be excused?
Madam Chair. Ms. Worthing. I want to commend the chair for remaining calm. It's not easy to do. It's inappropriate. And there were threats just in his description now or discussion. We should not be threatening each other.
Senior councilman, a senior councilman, I won't say what race I am, scared to exercise his freedom of speech. Even though I said I'm going to vote yes to accept it, they got me scared to try to do the details of what I heard in the budget presentation. Now I did that because that's what white folks want me to do. I ain't been more scared. Who you think you dealing with? God bless the citizens of the city of Flint and Cape Fields. Watch me come at you. I'm Jermaine, Tito, Marlon, and Jackie.
Madam President.
Is that Ms. Galloway?
Madam President, yes, it is.
These are, but to accommodate Mr. Mays, okay, we will go with past practice, which we will separate these. Okay, so the motion on the
Madam
floor
Chair.
right now, just a moment,
Madam
Mr.
Chair.
Mays, I'd like to repeat the motion on the floor, is to postpone those items with the exceptions of ones that Mr. Mays has separated. Is there any additional discussion on that?
Yeah, Madam Chair.
Mr. Mays?
I'm still listening and watching you. You're not doing this to accommodate Councilman Mays. This accommodates the council. It ain't specific to Mays, and it never have been. So that's what we call another crack. It's what we've been doing. It's past practice. Leave me alone. Quit being biased toward me. Quit trying to portray my name in the public that's recorded, because I'm not going to let it happen. And you're wasting time taking practice. I'm going to defend my honor, my position, and you ain't going to get away with it. So I'm asking you to quit doing it.
Thank you for your input, Mr. Mays. Is there any other discussion?
Thank you. So you got heavy politics going on. We'll see if they reconsider that, because Mr. Murphy was the last person in the last meeting. I knew he'd come in here with some attitude because of the court ruling. You ain't new. I almost cussed, Ms. Winfrey Carter. You ain't new. I almost cussed. I told him, you don't know my mind, body, or my soul, or my intellect. So, Mr. Murphy, I'm through being a certain way with you. You're the one clapping and we got to get him out of president. Never in the history before have this council went this long discombobulated. I don't care what people do, Ms. Winfrey, you've been on this council longer than any of them with me. I don't be tripping on how people vote and do. I talk about that, what they say, what they do, don't do. I'm for real. They used to make a song about that. Baby, I'm for real. Baby, I am for real. But I know how this thing works. You get a call. It says, Councilman Mays, I need your support on this. You get a call. It says, Councilman Murphy, I need your support on this. I know how politics work.
Point of information.
What's your point of information?
Through you to the speaker, Councilman Murphy did not get no call.
Mr. Murphy, not only did you not get a call on that, you done got a call on this, that, and the other. So they don't have to answer your point of information. You don't answer mine. And when I do them, you throw your hands up kind of and sit back. When you threaten me, talking about the streets, I'm going to remember that. When you stood behind me and made a gesture, I'm going to remember that. So you can point of information me all you want. I know politics. I know Miss Lewis and Mr. Murphy got a close relationship. Look at them now. Yeah. Wow. He think it's funny, but it's serious. When you talk about the direction of this city.
Hello, Council. My name is Earl.
You got some members with different vision. This man trying to make his career off of trying to convince people that I'm ignorant or more ignorant than him. I've seen it done with Maurice Davis, Jackie Poplar, Kerry Nelson, and others. Mr. Murphy, you won't be any different spending your time trying to make your political career off of defining me, and you're 100% wrong. You're 100% wrong. So since you want to spend time on it, I'm going to spend time with you. If you choose to talk, y'all doing it, y'all, and get up and leave, then leave. That's on you. If we got stuff on the agenda, and y'all, and I'm not going to have him talk to y'all, and y'all need to stop him, that's on you. That's on you. That reflects on you. I got people talking to me in the community about how you act, about how you sound. I go home and look at the TV and review meetings like a football player, and I don't even know you've been and said it. He's the most disgraceful. You disgraceful to me.
Even before we got on this council, he was talking to the other council people any kind of way. And I think it's wrong and inappropriate. My mother did not raise me to come down here to do what I'm doing down here, but she sure didn't raise me to be no rug and let nobody run over me. And I'm not gonna let this man talk to me no any kind of way. And every time I come to a meeting, after meeting, after meeting, after meeting, this man talk to us doggish. And it ain't just me. He talked to the mayor and administration doggish. He talked to people in the public doggish. If they don't, he talked to AC Dumas doggish at the other meeting. It don't make no sense. He needs some help. I'm done.
Forget it. And now all of a sudden, respect each other. I got a problem with that. Now we get 2 rounds under these goofy rules to discuss multi-million-dollar worth of business. I'm gonna reserve my time and then you're gonna hear what I'm gonna say and do. But this respect of each other is been gone up here from where I sit. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do and why on my second round. 2 minutes to discuss a multi-million-dollar project. I've never seen this type of council in my 40 years.
Councilman Murphy was not censured, and he should have been. And then there was a threat of violence also. And then he said, hey, before, he wasn't going to apologize. And he meant it, and he didn't do it.
Point of information.
What's your point?
Through you to the speaker, who threatened violence? There
And
you
I'm
go,
going-
making up words.
Excuse me, can you let him know that is not a proper use of a point of information? So, when we talk about making it fair and even, we have been called ghetto. I'm black, so I guess that would have referred to, and I heard it. And then there was a sidebar that my colleagues didn't hear because she doubled down on it before she left. And she hasn't apologized. Really? She didn't. She gave a pressed apology, but not. I can't hear you. This is not slander. This is the truth. If it's true slander, a slanderous comment.
Point of
doesn't have any
order.
truth.
Point of order.
What's your point?
This is about Mr. Mays and his current behavior. It does no good to go back and try to point the finger at someone else like
Madam
a
Chair,
child.
that's a misuse of. Can you give her a warning,
Ms. Burns,
please?
Ms. Burns, proceed.
So when we talk about issuing out, and I will not agree with Councilman May's behavior, and I have.
Point of information.
What's your point?
Did you forget that I put it on the floor to censure Councilman Murphy?
Proceed.
I know my memory's very good, Councilwoman Lewis, and I know coming in that y'all had clearly a game plan because Councilwoman Herkenroder said she didn't know about it and she didn't see it. Well, it was on the videotape. She was looking and paying attention. So y'all knew we didn't have enough votes coming in. We knew we didn't have enough. See, look, he flipping me off. Is there something you like to say today?
What?
Point of information.
What's your point?
Through you to the speaker, do you realize what you just accused us of is not correct and then nobody
Okay,
have
that's
no
the improper
conversation?
point. Can you warn him, please? Can you warn him?
The chair will remind the council.
Because I would just like to get through
the
mine.
The chair will remind the council because of the manipulation of the truth and to try to remain calm and professional throughout all of that. As the youngest one on this council by several decades, I will remind everyone.
Point of information.
Yes, sir. What's
Did
your
I
point?
just hear you use and say a word of manipulating about me? Or did I miss that?
I did use the word manipulate in what you can take whatever context that you want. Okay.